G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here casting the brand new expansion for Age of Empires 4. This is the Sultan's Ascent. Today we've got an absolute cracker of a game for you guys. We have got the Ayyubids and we have got the Japanese. So without further ado, let's get to introducing our players. Spawning in on the west side of the map in the color yellow. Playing as the Japanese today, we've got Valdemar. And on the east side of the map, in the color pink, playing as the Ayyubids, we've got Beasty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here on Cliffside, a brand new map available with the Sultan's Ascent. And boy, oh boy, isn't it beautiful. We've also got the Japanese spring biome that we're going to be having a look at here. Now, one of the things to note with this map is that there is a large cliff through the middle. However, it still seems relatively open. And this is one of the few things I do actually love. I shouldn't say one of the few things. This is one of the things I love about this map. I've played this map a couple of times. It's important to note that you spawn quite close to your enemy, but at the same time, you've got a lot of space behind you to work with. Also, walling off this map might seem easy, but the reality is there's a lot of spots to wall. Let's say you're on Beasty's position. You want to wall yourself in. What do? Well, I got a wall here, and I got a wall here. So that's 2. Then I got a wall here, 3, or I could have just walled across here, so we'll call that 3. Then I'm going to wall here, 4. And then I've got to wall this spot here, 5. Then I'm going to wall here. I've got the gold mine there, so I've got to kind of go around. That's 6. Then 7. Then 8. And then, like, it's not easy to wall yourself off on this map. The devs have done a great job of making it a map that has got a rather closed center, and yet still making it very difficult for you to wall yourself off nice and safe. And I love that about this map. It seems, in a way, more open than a map like Dry Arabia, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, at least open to attacks and raids and that sort of thing. So I suspect civilizations that favor cavalry early on are going to excel on a map like this. But let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about what we've got going on here, because we've got ourselves an age up already on the way through. Valdemar going to be looking for a Kura storehouse early on in this game. No real surprise there. This landmark does seem to be quite popular. Early on in this little creator preview, players were testing with the Shinobi opening, but I think players have kind of gotten used to how to deal with the Shinobi, and so as a result, they just don't bother going and doing the Shinobi themselves, yeah, as a result, you just see the Kura storehouse, which is a wonderful landmark. The way that this landmark works is you're going to be receiving a free farm. I think it's every 45 seconds. Indeed it is. Around this landmark. So it'll enable you to transition to farms very, very easily. And then once it's finished doing that, you'll receive 75 wood trickling into you for the rest of the game every minute, which is pretty cool. I like this landmark a lot. Definitely one of my favorites. On the other side of the map, though, we've got Beasty. Looks like he has clicked his age up. Now, one thing to note is you don't actually see the age up on the UI, so I'll have to feed that one back to the devs, so it'll get fixed hopefully before 2027. But, sorry, I know I shouldn't, but anytime I can poke fun at the devs for the state of the caster UI, I've just got to do it, because I feel like the adopted child that got left out on the front porch and they've forgotten about him right now, because it disappoints me. Anyway, look, we've got new shiny civs. Let's talk about those. We've got the Ayyubids. What route has Beasty gone? He has gone for Bazaar. He's gone for Trade Wing Bazaar. This is not arguably, it is objectively the most broken part of the Abbasids variant, the Ayyubids. I almost said the Abbasids there. The way that this works is simple. Every 3 minutes, a trade caravan arrives with a random selection of 4 favorable exchanges of resources and units. The quality of these trades is permanently set depending on the age at which the trade wing is constructed. Using the trade wing to enter a later age provides more lucrative trades. So, here Beasty's going to have different trades available to him, such as, well, we can see which ones he's got available. He can choose between, he can buy food, he can buy wood, or he can buy or purchase or hire Bedouin skirmishes. Now, the normal thing that you see players do is utilize this in the castle age rather than utilizing it in the feudal age, because the bonuses are a little bit larger. So here we can see that Beasty has access to 2 Bedouin skirmishes, whereas in the castle age, you get access to 5 Bedouin skirmishes. You got to pay a little bit more, but it's more about the ability to be flexible, right? I can just say, oh, I can get units right now. Boom. I don't even have to make a military production facility. I can just get those units out straight away. And speaking of units, looks like the Bugattis have already entered the race. We got the Honor Bagasha making its way down the field here. already with that +1 melee attack. I was going to say armor. It is melee armor. Melee attack. Another thing to note, it looks like the Japanese melee armor, the unique melee... Sorry, why do I keep saying melee armor? The unique melee attack doesn't actually show on the UI, but I can confirm we do indeed have that for Voldemar. That is correct. The Japanese have access to a 4th tier of melee attack. I got it right. And that is available in the Dark Age. They also pay stone for their upgrades, which is a great synergy because every bit of gold that they drop off, they get a little bit of stone, and every bit of stone that they drop off, they get a little bit of gold. It's 20% of the total. So it's pretty cool, but the Honor Geisha now coming through. Not going to be able to snipe out the villager. Beasty does a good job of keeping the Ayyubid villager alive. He's now on the defensive. It looks like Archer's going to be coming out for him here. Now, keep in mind, there's quite a few different changes to the Ayyubids. At the moment, I would say they're probably considered the strongest, if not the second strongest, of the new civilizations. And that's mainly just because of the Trade Bazaar. The Trade Bazaar is just incredible because it offers you favorable trades. They are always favorable trades. So here you can see it is 125 gold for 200 food. Who wouldn't take that? That is a beautiful trade. I will take that any day of the week. It's lovely. And then you've got this one here, 125 gold for 200 wood. And you can do that twice. Now, there's a reason why they call this the casino. I call it the casino. I don't know who they is. I'm doing the Donald Trump. You know, they call it the casino. It's the biggest casino you've ever seen. It is the greatest casino. All of my friends love this casino. That's about the best you'll get when it comes to an Age of Empires 4 related Donald Trump impression. For the moment, this casino is so incredible because it just allows you flexibility. So, as an example, when you age up, you want to be trying to get these ones right here, the villages. And sometimes the tickets are ludicrous. You can get, say, 2 tickets of villages and 2 tickets of skirmishes. And it just gives you free villages. It's not free. You got to pay for them. But, you know, you're paying essentially 60 gold for each villager. And that might seem like a bad trade for some people, but let me assure you, it's not, because you've only got 1 TC. You can only make one villager every 20 seconds, and that completely goes against that. But we do now start to see those skirmishers making their way out onto the field. Going to be looking to defend, throwing their javelins out. They've got a little bit of extra range, these skirmishers. 6 tiles of range in total, with a bonus of 7 damage against light infantry. I will state these are light infantry, so they're doing the full 14 here. However, oh, Daimyo Minor completed. Ooh la la. The Daimyo Minor has been completed, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to declare that. Anyway, skirmishers now coming out onto the field, together with the archers. He'll be looking to try and secure this top area. He's done a pretty decent job so far, but it looks like horsemen now out on the field. Let's talk a little bit about the Daimyo Minor. We touched on it just before. In fact, let's focus on this fight. He's slowly working down these units. Has he picked up the ranged upgrade? Indeed he has. Picked up ranged defenses. And now the Ayyubids also going to be coming through. Horsemen looking to try and deal damage. Unfortunately, looks like it will go down, but a second one going to be running in. He's managing to take out quite a few units here from Beasty. Beasty on the defensive early in this game, but has gone for that second TC, which means his economy is going to be a little bit stronger. Eventually. It's all about eventually. As long as he can survive, that's going to be the key here. And Japan is no slouch when it comes to the feudal age. Arguably the best feudal age civilization that there is. This civilization is incredible when it comes to the feudal age. And there is one reason why that is. The Daimyo Minor. This guy right here. So, this is the first level of upgrade the Daimyo Minor's got. And when you research or when you get this technology, it's going to cost you 300 stone. It's pretty expensive. There's a second level, which is 600 stone. But what happens is your harvest rate for farms increases. Instead of having a base harvest rate, you get plus 25% on the first one. So think about horticulture, the upgrade that you get from the mill. This is 15%. The Daimyo Minor gives you 25% at the first level. The second level, you get 50%. At the third level, you get 75%. And you want to know the crazy part? You can get that in the feudal age. It's expensive, yeah, but you can get it in the feudal age. So, in my opinion, when it comes to the best way to play the Japanese, I reckon stick to the feudal age and just try and keep your opponent there. See how long you can keep your opponent in the feudal age, force them to stay in the feudal age, and behind that, you've got your farms coming in. Behind that, you've got your Daimyo Minor being upgraded. Behind that, you're adding even more farms in, and this is just further pushing your economy even further and further ahead. So let's look to see how Voldemar plays this and whether he's going to be taking my advice, staying in the feudal age, or whether he's going to be looking to mix things up a little bit. But now, Beasty on the defense here, going to be starting to mix in some Desert Raiders. These guys are brand new units for the Ayyubids. Unique mechanic for these guys. They can switch between ranged and melee mode. So we can see at the moment they're on their sword attack, but they do have the ability to switch to a bow attack It's not a lot of damage, like nothing compared to, say, the Camel Rider. But it's still pretty decent damage, and it's quite a bit of range as well. 4.5 tiles of range. And of course, they've got that movement speed. So now, beginning to make their way up. He's got to be careful with his control of them. Up against the horsemen, they can turn the tide quickly. And we can see now that the first of the Bannerman is out for Voldemar. This is a unique mechanic for the Japanese that increases all of the similar units around it. It increases their attack and their armor, if I remember correctly. So you can see right here, we've got the Uma Bannerman aura. I'll make sure we follow this guy around, which increases cavalry unit damage by 15%. Which is pretty substantial when you think about it. For horsemen, that's going to be +2. So when you've got +1 melee attack, +2 melee attack, and then you've got an extra 15% on top, you've got an extra 4 damage that's coming in. That's serious numbers. But now, speaking of serious, looks like Beasty might be in a bit of trouble here, as he is bitten off more than he can chew, and we can see these walls starting to come up across the center of the map. 11 minutes into this game so far. Not only that, but I also hear rumors of a daimyo coming in on the back. It's a daimyo palace, and that means that we're up to 50% faster gather rate for these villagers. These villagers on the farms are now working faster than Imperial Age villagers. And we're 11 minutes into this game. This is where it starts to get scary, because you're playing against the Japanese, you're thinking, oh, I'm fine, he's only on 1 TC. Yeah, he's only on 1 TC, but his villagers are powerhouses right now. Let's take a look at the income per minute. 1,000 resources at the moment. You can see we've got 22 versus 27 villagers. Beastie slightly ahead with the Ayyubids, but only ever so slightly. Definitely not 6 villagers ahead, as you would expect those 6 villagers to be. Now those numbers continue to build. How's Beastie's trades looking? Looks like he's gone up into the 2nd tier of Golden Age. Keep in mind, you do have 5 tiers now with the Ayyubids, but speaking of tiers, looks like Beastie's going to be crying tears as his villagers slowly but steadily make it back. Oh, they got to stay alive just in the nick of time. And now we've got textiles coming through. He's going to look to try and keep them alive a little bit longer here. And the Camel Raiders, the Desert Raiders, firing off. He's got access to more Bedouin units. You can see the Bedouin swordsmen coming out now. The best, for anybody wondering, if you're playing up against like a fast castle. Wait, have we got the age up coming through? Oh, he's going culture wing. You can't see it on the thing. So he's going culture wing logistics. So it, upon completion, grants 3 dervish, which is the unique religious unit here for the Ayyubids, and improves the unit healing by 50%. It's important to note that the dervish has an AoE healing ability. I say ability, but it's just like a status, right? Like it's actually, I think it is a status, or it is an ability, and then at Imperial Age it can become a status if you elect to go up with it. So there's the dervish out now. 3 dervish onto the field immediately. These are religious units. You can see them looking to try and heal something up. Villager gets caught out of position. And now those dervish got to be looking. Oh, he's got a couple of traders here as well. Those dervish will be looking to try and pick up relics. There's a couple over on the opponent's side. He'll be able to try and snipe out. And a couple up towards the north side here as well. So let's see whether Beastie's going to be able to find it, though. There they are making their way down. Floating gate on the other side of the map. About to come through now for Voldemar. There it is. One of the best landmarks in the game right here. This landmark allows you to scale infinitely. You can quite literally scale forever with this landmark. Every 4 minutes you get a Yorishiro. It's up to you what you want to do with the Yorishiro. And it looks like we've got Voldemar, who's going to be putting his Yorishiros in his barracks at the front of his base. So opting, you can see right here, these samurai take 23 seconds. When you put the Yorishiro in them, it goes down to 8 seconds. They give different bonuses to different buildings. Whichever one you'd like to take, it is your choice. Well, unsuccessful on that south side. Beastie attempts picking up, looks like 2 relics so far. One relic up here. I don't know where that second relic has gone. There it was in the center. Oh, he's moving forward with it. Keep in mind, one of the interesting things to note is mass heal is actually increased. So it heals all nearby units, and it increases if you're holding a relic. So there is a real incentive for Beastie to be carrying this relic into battle rather than to store it away. We'll look to see how he plays it, though. Looks like the upgrades have now come through for the Desert Raiders. Got their veterancy now. Still yet to see the veterancy coming through for the Horsemen on the other side. The Samurai have picked it up, though. You don't want to mess with these Samurai. These Samurai are incredibly strong units for the Japanese. Some of the best units in the game here. These guys are incredible just because of their deflective armor. It means that if the enemy attacks them, they're going to deflect that first attack. And if the enemy attacks a single unit at the same time with multiple arrows or shots, it will deflect all of them. It's very powerful. But now Beastie under siege once again. He's calling. I can hear it. Is that you, Stephen? Stephen, I need you. Stephen Seagal, where are you? It looks like from the north, units begin to collapse on the scout. Scout will make it out, though. Right on board with Voldemar as he begins pushing into the base of Beasty. He doesn't see much at the moment. Beasty doesn't have a huge military, but there it is from the north side. Beasty coming in, looking to try and hold this defense. What does he have in the way of defense? Realistically, not a lot. And the horsemen now making their way through onto the wood line, looking for villagers. He's got his textile upgrade. We know that. Now the samurai looking to try and deal with these camels, these desert raiders rather, towards the north. They've got their ranged attack on at the moment. Could switch to melee at any chance they get. But it looks like Beasty still holds on. Voldemar not wanting to commit into the base just yet. Definitely the wise choice. Needs to wait for some sort of siege. I'd be looking for battering rams at this point in time. Whether he's got siege engineering is a different question. But we'll wait and see exactly how Beasty looks to defend. He's doing a solid right now, making sure he keeps his desert raiders alive, keeping them on ranged attack only. You can see the samurai once again going to be looking to masterfully come through that wall and make their way down towards this south side. There are more villagers down here. They do get run off the gold. And now it looks like he might be going for the kill underneath the town center. How is Beasty going to play this? He's on the defensive. He needs to pull out a dervish. He needs to pull out a relic. Bring those relics in immediately. Cavalry goes down on the south side. And now it looks like a Ghulam combination with the desert raiders. Dervish healing up. You can see him just healing slowly. AoE healing coming through on all sides. Slowly but steadily healing it up. It looks like he is eventually going to take the fall here. But the numbers are looking pretty solid. And I think Beasty's going to be able to hold this. He's got the reinforcements coming through. Crossbows on the back line as well. Together with these desert raiders should be able to hold it. I think he's going to be fine. And we can see right now the reinforcements towards the north. It looks like a shinobi. I don't think it is. It's got the same pants as a shinobi. Excuse me, sir. No, you're just a samurai. Just a samurai without a sword. Well, he's probably got a sword. He was just hiding it. You know how they are. They're a little bit self-conscious when it comes to their swords. Anyway, we'll bring back in the UI. And now we can see that Beasty has managed to get a pretty decent military lead at this point. He is more than double his opponent. Villager lead pretty decent as well. Up 33 villagers here. He's got to be careful about this mangonel. And you can see that it does do extra damage against ranged units. And these ranged units, these are considered ranged units here. They are melee. I think they are, what are they? Light, ranged, and melee camel. So it is the first of its class. Able to take out the mangonel. I think they do get a little bit of extra bonus against siege. No, they get extra bonus against cavalry, of course. There we go. You learn something new every day. And that's something that I just learned. Dervish still here, still alive, just healing up. Doesn't have that mass heal ability clicked just yet. Let's see if he decides to throw it down. Beasty obviously still learning all the mechanics to the new civilizations as well. Now it looks like we've got stone walls coming up on the middle. One of the new mechanics that is now available in Age of Empires 4 in this expansion pack is the ability to wall to resources. Now you could always wall to trees or to forests, but you couldn't wall to resources. But here, you actually can wall to the stone. And you can see it kind of looks a little bit chunky, a little bit weird, a little bit wacky. That is because you're walling to that gold, quite literally walling to that gold. And that gives you a little bit more freedom in the way that you play with your defenses. I think this is definitely a big buff to defensive players, to turtles. So turtles everywhere around the world will rejoice, except those in the Great Barrier Reef, which are being sadly bleached. But look, we're trying to turn it around. Know that. We are trying to turn it around. It's beautiful up there, I'm sure. I haven't been there yet. But, you know, I'll make it eventually. That's what they always say. And I'll say that too. Anyway, let's check in with Voldemar, see how he's doing as he is down on the village account. But is he out of the game just yet? Still yet to research that Shogunate castle and get that third tier of bonus for the villagers on the farms. Not a huge amount of farms underneath the TC just yet. But Sacred Site in the center is looking to be captured. Beasty's holding 2 out of 3 at the moment. Needs that third one if he wants to go and threaten that Sacred Victory. Springald also going to be coming out here, looking to deal with the mangonels. What do we see that's in the way of something new just yet? Let's check in and have a look with Beasty, see how he's doing. Oh, you know what we can talk about? We can talk about this bad boy right here. Beasty at the moment on tier 3 of his House of Wisdom. Did you know that you can actually go to tier 5? Let's see if I can find it. I don't know how to find it. There is a... Oh, here we go. So, tier 1, 10% gather rate for all resources. Tier 2, research speeds increased by 50%. Tier 3, production speeds increased by 20%. Tier 4, siege unit cost 20% less to research or to produce. And Tier 5, camel units attack 20% faster, baby. Oh, yeah. You damn well know we're going Tier 5 every single game we play the Ayyubids. Now the crossbow mass starting to build up for him as well. He's going to be careful of that mangonel, but Beasty, of course, pretty damn good with the springles, but not good enough. It looks like they will go down on the front line to those samurais, cleaning them up. The mangonel stays alive. The springles doing the 5 with him, but the keep looks like it might get up. Has Beasty bought enough time with that springle? Did he look to sacrifice the springles? That's going to be the question. The mangonel shots come through. Keep is going up. Is Lord Doubt smiling upon it today? It doesn't look like it will. I think this keep will go up, but the villager losses will be significant here. Only about 10 vills on the backside. Immediately jump in. I take it back. At least 15 villagers were still there. Dervish now coming to reinforce. How many Dervish do you have? And Beasty just says yes. Another springle now looking to help out a little bit more. Crossbows, as long as he's behind this keep, should be fine. A couple spearmen mix in, but for the most part, I think he's going to be absolutely fine on this defense here, as the samurai will not live to tell another day, because these crossbows are just going to put them away. Let's bring that UI back in. Let's take a look and see exactly what these players are up to. We're right on board with Beasty as he begins that expansion towards the north. 2 layers of walls on that top side of the map. Still got access to that sacred site. He's lost the one on the south side, but now has begun fighting up towards the north. This is where all these extra resources are. And take a look on the minimap. I've just realized, have a look at this. You've got all of these small gold veins up towards the north. Do you even have big gold veins on this map? Just small ones. I kind of like this. I like this a lot because it's a lot less pivotal who controls the gold, because it's exactly like how it was in June. You know, he who controls the spice controls the world. And in this case, it's he who controls the gold controls the world. But in this game specifically, on this map, where you don't have those big gold veins, or at least none that I can find, and you guys know I am legally blind, it's good to see. I like it. Outpost comes up, villagers garrison inside, but it looks like the death of the 5 villagers will happen unless they make their way out. They're trying their best to run. Run, Forrest, run. One of them goes down. Second one might find a death as well. Yep. No, he lived. The boy who lived. I think it's a boy. Oh, it could be a girl. Do the men wear the hats, or do the women wear the hats? We're gonna have to spend a... Wait, we're waiting on this. I think it might be the women. I think I think this might be the girl who lived. The woman who lived. How much wood can you guys chop right now? You guys are looking like wood chops. Is it wood chop? How much wood could a wood chop? Yeah, you guys are looking like wood chops. 18, 19. You only turn around for half a second. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna bother. We're just gonna assume that it was the girl who got away. The one who got away. You guys know it. There's always that one that gets away. I know you're thinking of her right now. Sharon. No, Sheila. Oh, Sheila. She was a beaut, wasn't she? And you would have stayed with her if it wasn't for that second toe on her foot that was slightly longer than her big toe. Just couldn't reconcile with the big toe. Oh gosh, what movie was that? Shallow Hal. That was a quality movie. I liked that one back in the day. Oh, that was a good movie, except it was a little bit shallow. Beasty trading, looking pretty good. Keep in mind, trade's going to be an important part of the Ayyubids, just simply because you are going to be looking to go into the trade bazaar every single time you're playing as the Ayyubids. It's way too good. That's the reality of it. There's nothing that even comes close to how strong this is. It is a casino where the house never wins. It's great because you as a player, you always get to win against it. The odds are always stacked in your favor, and one of the odds that you've got are that you might get traders as a potential option for you. So you've got to always be looking for trade. And at the moment, Beasty's pulling in 43 trade or gold every trade here, so not too bad. Have a look at the difference in economies between these two. And I think this is largely... There's no way this is just because of the 2 town centers. Every single trader here... Actually, I take it back. Beasty is training traders, but that's 25 traders that Beasty's got out at the moment. He's doing pretty well. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It is feeling good from his perspective, even though the numbers aren't looking the best for him right now. He's particularly good at stalling out games like this. We do start to see a gate coming up here. Mangonel looking to try and find a shot. Springold's firing off. Beasty now with the number advantage will be able to find the siege advantage. It all comes down to siege supremacy at this point in the game. As long as he's able to hide behind these walls, he's got plenty of resources back in the bank. Down towards the south, he is securing the map as well. If we look from the perspective of Voldemort, it feels like he's quite boxed in at this point. He doesn't really have control of resources around him. Where does he go for gold? Let's say he needs gold. Okay, he comes up here. Great. Where does he go after that? He comes here. Well, bad luck. There's a keep there. He doesn't really have anywhere else to go for gold. He's been squeezed out. So, look, we mentioned earlier the fact that he who controls the gold controls the world. Well, perhaps it does ring true for this map in particular. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a classic springled kiss. You know, you just can't the Springolds are like those teenage kids that just sneak out of home. They always sneak out, and you tell them, hey, stop sneaking out. And they're like, okay. And then they sneak out again. And look, there they go again, sneaking out, trying to get a kiss. Not going to happen. Beasty, unfortunately, losing out all of his Springolds. And now Voldemar going to be on the offensive. We can see as the Trebuchets making their way downtown. Looks like the Samurai also going to get involved here. What does Beasty have going for him at this point? He's got his economy going for him. He's got a whole bunch of gold in the bank. But take a look at the numbers coming out from Voldemar. This could be game here. The unit numbers are insane. Realistically, how does Beasty hold this? Oh, God, siege. Oh, Lord, siege. And does he have the cheaper siege? Let's quickly check. Hold on, I'm going to bring this back in right now. Oh, he does. He does. He's got the cheaper siege. Look at that. But did he just lose it? I think he lost it. Oh, he's lost it. And he's got the Manjanique. Can the Manjanique bring it back? It's the unique mangonel for the Ayyubids. That is going to be the question that we need to answer right now. He's got double the villager population, but unfortunately, military is where it matters right now. Up towards that north side, he is encroaching upon his opponent. Down towards the south, a couple of idle villagers. Not going to be what matter for him now. But once again, Voldemar unsuccessful underneath the landmarks of Beasty. He is once again in that tier 4. He's picked up a couple more favorable trades. And now that Mangonel looking to try and find a way through. Springald's firing off. Big shot from the Mango. Doesn't do too bad. Voldemar continuing to push through. Big shots again off that Mango. And Beasty's in trouble at this point. How does Beasty pull himself out of this? Look at the resources he's got. You don't want to tap out with 4k gold in the bank. Nothing feels worse than that. Maybe tapping out with 6k gold in the bank. Oh, but now the Camel Lancer comes in. Could this be the hero of the day? The Camel Lancer, the brand new unique lancing unit for the Ayyubids. This unit is a camel, so it counters cavalry, and it's a lancer, so it counters everything else. It is just an absolute kill everything unit. And now those Springald's going to go down. He's working on the next one. The Mangonel goes down, and oh my God, the Camel Lancers are doing it. More and more Camel Lancers coming out. Beasty spamming the Camel Lancers into the Samurai. He says, I've got double the economy of you. Sure, I might not be looking too good on the military, but we'll change that quickly. The camel numbers continue to rise. Stone Wall goes down in the north. The Trebuchets have worked their magic, but it looks like the numbers aren't looking the prettiest on the front. The camels make their way through. The villagers ducking into their outposts, and now all of the siege looks like it might be going down. Mangonel number 1 going to go down. Mangonel number 2, where are you at? He's there. He's still going to live for a little bit longer, but I tell you what, Beasty's economy is somehow forming an insane power front right now for him. This is ludicrous to witness. He was so close to death multiple times in this game, but just keeps his head above water. And look at the difference in score right now. Beasty more than 3,000 points ahead of his opponent. And he says, you know what it's time for? The Tower of the Sultan. Oh my God. I can't believe we're witnessing the Beast go for such a ballsy play right now. Why would you make a Tower of the Sultan here? I don't know. But you can. And that's what's important. You could go for a siege tower as well, I guess. Tower of the Sultan is 1,000 resources. It is a big boy. It is a beefy boy. And look, to be honest, you can just kind of send it up the middle. I don't know exactly. I mean, you can probably clear out the outpost. Does he have Springald emplacements on? That's why. Okay, it makes sense. He's just clearing out the Springald emplacements. I understand. I might not be the smartest Strongo, but I understand that. Slowly now, units sieging down all of these stables. He's got so many of them, and realistically, Beasty's on 171 villagers here. He's literally doubled his opponent, even though they're on 80 villagers. He's got more than double the villager count of his opponent here. Up towards the north, Voldemar is trying to find a way through to get gold, but he is really struggling. Look, Beasty just solidifying his position on that south side. Outpost coming in, mining camp down on the gold vein. He's got the keep coming on that south side as well, and now making its way up the center, the Tower of the Sultan. Will it be the hero of the day? Almost certainly. Let's enter into the cinematic mode as the Camel Lancers now look to clinch the game, taking out the first of the Springalds. Now comes the Trebuchets. If the Trebuchets go down, Voldemar's got no way to take this out. You can see him working on the landmarks, doing a Don Artie, but it's not going to happen. Not today. Mangonel goes down with it. The Camel Lancers, an incredible unit here for the Ayyubids. One of the best, definitely one of the best Lancers in the game. It is going to be up there with the Cataphract. It's going to be up there with the Imperial Guard from the Jussi Legacy. It is incredible. Hold your horses, just as we were talking about him. Looks like the numbers are starting to look better for Voldemar. It is a back and forth, this one. It just doesn't stop. They can keep on going. It looks like we've got the stone upgrade here for the outpost, but it doesn't look that fierce, I'll be honest with you. Looks like it's got slightly more wood on it. I don't see a single bit of stone on this outpost, but I can tell from the lack of damage it's receiving from the Tower of the Sultan, it's definitely got its upgrades. And now that camel/crossbow combo, the triple C threat is coming in. The Springald's just getting eaten alive, and Beasty somehow manages to hold once again. Sacred Site going to be threatened here. And Beasty in supreme position. Could be looking at an Imperial Age here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's clicked up behind this. Let's take a look and see. Where's that landmark? There it is. Indeed he has. He's going up with Economic Wing Industry, which will award him with 25 wood, but it's not even gonna matter. Ladies and gentlemen, your victor today is Beasty Cutie with an absolutely insane hold on the Ayyubids. Fellas, go and check him out. Go and check out the kid, aka Voldemar, as well. I'll leave links in the description of where you can watch them live, and make sure you go check out the Sultan's Ascend expansion pack on Steam. I'll leave a link in the description.